Team 11, them saying that they want to do the joint venture with Virgin, that they want to be
the majority.
Yeah, the majority. How is that going to work? Why do you think that Virgin is going to allow you to be the majority when you're going to be having so many more benefits by partnering with them?
That's a very good question, and that can be determined by the two companies. You understand? So, for example, let's say I'm not going to decide right now if Virgin Group is going to agree with that, because I don't know what Virgin Group is thinking, right? But if you put both of us together, right, now I want to make me and you want to form a business, and I want you to bring 90% of your income, while me bring 10% of my income. Will you agree to that business? No, probably not. Exactly. So that's why most companies will allow the other person to spend more of his money rather than they spend more. But we taking the risk. Why I mean taking the majority role is because I want the risk. You don't want the risk. So that's why I think we will agree to it.
Exactly, Branson.
Great.
Samir.
My question is for both teams. Taking the neoliberal approach and ideology towards any industry through deregulation or privatization often arises the question of who benefits most. So in this case, who do you guys think benefited most, the consumers, the travelers, or the airlines?
I think both of them, because the consumers were able, first of all, AirAsia gave the opportunity for Asians to actually travel in the air. So they didn't do that. They, like it was like 20% of Malaysians had flying on air, and then after AirAsia, it's like 60 to 70% of Malaysians have traveled through air. So competition increases the market, helps the market, as we all know. The consumer has more options, so he can choose the cheapest ones, and ultimately the companies are able to reinvest in their own. Sometimes when conglomerates hold the companies, or government hold the companies, they really don't innovate as much. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have the strategy, they don't have that hunger to double, to increase their sales. So they barely innovate and they just lag. So I think it's better for the market, for the consumer, and for the companies.
And also, just exactly what Jonathan said. Remember, there was no alternative transportation. The buses are not traveling like traveling in New York. It comes like a long time. But if you see somebody who's there to offer, then the customer will benefit more. Though they make profit, as a company we have to make profit, so we innovate, right? But I think the customer is who rip everything up.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
So, just to add on, what he means by customers not having other alternatives because of the geographic nature of the countries. The natural conditions kind of forces them to use transportation by air. Furthermore, it's beneficial to all because by having more airlines, there will be more tourists coming in, and the government could benefit, and so does other industries.
And for a fact, because of that, they were able to see that other, like the revenue itself of the country, like different businesses, small businesses, like motels, like small hotels also increased in profit as well.
Why is staying local not one of the options? If they have a competitive advantage inside the country, so why risk your competitive advantage with going global, since you have to spend more and probably raise the prices of your things? I'll probably take the advantage that you already have in that competition. Why stay local not? Not a option.
Well,
Can I just give a brief answer to that question? Why don't we stay local, right? We want to expand. You know why we want to expand? Because there is a good opportunity out there. That's why we want to expand. You see that price?
Yeah.
You see this length? It's the travel length. The travel length is short, right? And the ASK is the amount, which is, as you see, they define it here, the average kilometer per seat traveled, right? How many passengers are in the plane when you travel? How many are not in the plane? So AirAsia is doing good. For them not to stay local, look at these ones. they're traveling in 78 cents, which is very, very bad. Meaning, how many passengers are in the flight at that time? So they're losing this amount of money. But if Air Asia get there, Air Asia even twice, if Air Asia even double the length, they won't see cash. These people, you see, these people are operating in a very high expense. So they want to get into those markets and reap those profits. And that's why it's good to expand.
They might not be able to keep the price in a different country because a lot of agents are traveling because it's a lot of water around them. So they kind of need it so much. Like in other countries, there will be, let's say, bus travel will be cheaper and it will be more accessible for them.
We don't know about bus travel right now. This is flight industry.
Yes, no, but the thing is, we see our competitors are not doing good.
Vitalis, can you put up the map of Asia where you have the cities highlighted?
Okay, no.
Yeah, that's the problem with all the builds. Oh, go back.
Yeah, this one.
No, don't you have one with different color points?
Yeah, you passed.
That's
world.
what. That is international.
Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead and put that one up. All right.
This one?
Okay, good.
Good.
All right. We want to go by bus between Goa and Karachi, or Goa and New Delhi.
No,
Probably not,
we don't want to do that, right? Exactly. So
But that's what they're doing now, or overcrowded trains. So.
exactly. That's why we see that our competitors are operating a very high price, right? But if we get in there, we can. If we twice our cost, we're still going to be under them. So it's good to expand rather than to stay.
Okay, let's give someone else a chance. Yes.
Can I add on to what he was saying about that? Just so I clarify that question.
Quickly.
There's a trend going on with the airlines where if you don't perform or you don't innovate, you're gonna get taken over by a bigger airline. So if we don't innovate, if we feel comfortable at any point, we're gonna get taken over by a bigger airline.
And just to add on very quickly. I know you said if we go to other countries, we won't be able to keep the cost low, but we already have the experience. We already have the best management, YMS, and all these systems that we already operating low cost. So we'll use what we have to continue that in other countries, even though it will vary, the cost will vary in different countries. We have experience.
Go ahead.
I think that it's just more like an idea that I have. When you guys say now everyone can fly, what AirAsia is trying to do is, usually when you think of flying, you think of very expensive, luxurious opportunity to fly. Not everyone can fly. So I feel like AirAsia, what they want to do is show flying as just taking a bus, taking a train, but more efficiently, more quickly, lower cost, and make it something of a norm within the countries that don't usually use that.
I don't think that taking a bus, taking a train is even hard. Maybe walking, you don't have to pay any money, right? Walking. That's exactly what Asia is doing. Because
they want to make it a norm.
Exactly, they just want to make it like you're not paying anything, flying,
Alisa.
Yes, so my question is, do you guys think that with expansion to Europe and America, this company will sustain its success and will be able to keep lower prices? Because we know in Europe there's fast trains and also they are cheaper.
You want to take that?
Yes, so we've addressed decreasing operating costs in our strategy by standardizing aircraft usage. So by eliminating and using the same kind of aircraft, we could decrease the operating costs, which could be a competitive advantage against their rivals.
And also remember, we're trying to joint venture with who?
Well, that's
So we're killing the competition. So we're trying to kill the competition. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
We don't want to make them our competitors.
So that brings me to my question. If we think about the world, and this map is only part of the world, but it's a very useful part of the world, what country or countries do you think they should prioritize?
They should go into?
Yes, what country should they enter or expand in?
Okay, exactly that.
No, go back to that one.
I'm going to come back real quick. Okay, we can't get in here. This place we can't get in. There's going to be a threat here for like Air Arabia, which is the UAE.
So avoid the UAE.
Yeah, that's why I put it as potential threat. We avoid UAE. So one country is where SpiceJet is in, India.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna first dip
You
my hand
think
in
India, okay, what do you think?
Focusing near Asia Pacific is ideal. So India and Australia, which is also considered in Asia Pacific.
Okay, so India with over 1 billion residents and
Exactly.
spread out cities and poor infrastructure, good. And maybe China? So what is, and this is directed, what is Virgin's presence in China and India?
Veggie Group,
Yeah,
their presence right now.
yeah.
I didn't do a research on that, that's my fault. And I don't know their routes, where they're flying, so I don't know if anybody knows about their routes here. But I think they're really operating 4 airlines, but I don't know where they fly to that.
So if you were going to enter India with over 1 billion spread out consumers with a growing middle class, how would you enter India?
Through the airport selection criteria, so we will target secondary airports first and look at size and different natures of the airport.
And would you form a wholly owned subsidiary or a joint venture?
Venture.
And who would you form a joint venture with? With the government?
Kingfisher.
I think the best way to expand into India would be through co-sharing with an Indian airline, because there you will be able to start getting market little by little. You can start, providing maybe marketing for them, or really just uniting, it's a strategic alliance where both companies can benefit, because India will be able to provide more services to more people in more places, and then so can we. So I think the best way is to co-share with an Indian airline.
Anybody? Yes?
When you ask me the question, if they're gonna move by the other cities by train, the thing is, they can't take Asian Airlines and do a national flight in another country. They can only do international flights. So let's say that each country has their own national airlines, and the country won't allow other airlines to come and do national flights. They can only come internationally.
The problem, the government, they don't allow foreign companies to control the airline business in their countries. Doesn't mean you can't travel into there or travel out of there. I don't know if that's the question you're asking.
No, the thing is,
Sarah?
like you're talking as in doing national flights in different countries.
But,
Like
okay,
taking Air Asian.
but they're open
Airline.
sky agreements.
They're open sky, that's the regulation.
Sarah?
I think they should fly with Kingfisher Airlines in India, and that would eliminate all problems and make a perfect joint venture for India.
Okay.
Well, we were proposing
Kelsey,
not
hold
so
on,
much
hold
of
on.
a joint
Kelsey?
venture, more of an alliance.
With the joint venture, what it is AirAsia doesn't only want to stay local, it wants to go internationally. So the joint venture will give them space to have establishment to fly within India locally, but having profits repatriated to where the main company is.
Yes?
I was gonna say, he had a graph here with, what it was for India, Air SpiceJet or something.
Yeah,
something
Spice.
at a low.
Spice Air.
Yeah, so that would be like the best, joint venture, even though it's a low cost airline, it operates already in India, people already use it, and I think it's gonna be the best airline.
You mean this?
Yeah, SpiceJet.
SpiceJet.
Yeah, we know. SpiceJet is operating at very high cost, They're losing the market because the cost is too high, then see how much
Yeah, I think we can gain
Okay, so
market
if I
in
wanted
India.
to enter India and I didn't want to partner with SpiceJet because they're
You're not very
inefficient, or with Kingfisher, who else could I partner with?
Air India.
High cost.
We can do that.
Do I have to partner with an airline?
No, doesn't mean. We can do it with a company, with a technology industry. We can do it with,
All right, so think about a company that we've talked about.
Yes. What is that?
So,
It's transportation. That's it.
so they're, actually, I can tell y'all didn't update the case, which is good, because I told you not to. They formed a joint venture to enter India with the Tata brothers. And they're actually getting ready for well, it's actually not done as well as they wanted, but, so great, y'all can sit down, but leave that up. Good job, guys.